بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والصلاة والسلام على أشرف المرسلين سيدنا محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم. Welcome everybody in behalf of the Global Performance Management Academy, GPMA, and the team. I would like to welcome you for our regular webinar. Today we are so happy to welcome for the second time Dr. Nader Nada. He is so kind, and the content of his last presentation was so overwhelming and so rich, to the extent that we have asked him to promise us to deliver more than webinar for us, and he agreed to do this. So he started to break down his last presentation into several topics. Today, inshallah, we will be handling the first topic. Dr. Nader Nada, let me just give you, for those who did not attend our last meeting, Dr. Nader Nada is the Dean of Albert Schweitzer School of Management, ASSM, the McAlindon Professor of Innovation, Management and Digital Transformation at Cambridge Corporate University in Switzerland. Dr. Nader Nada holds a PhD from George Mason University, Virginia, and the Master of Science from Minnesota State University. He received the Achievement Award from the American Achievement Academy. He was NASA, you know, the National Astronauts Association of United States fellow for 3 successive years for the design and the implementation of the Earth Observation System, EOS, NASA largest global environmental information system. Professor Nada published several books and over 100 international journals and international conference papers. He received several funds for research projects from NASA, German Aerospace Center for European Aerospace Center, and European Union. Professor Nada has a sincere interest and expertise in strategic planning, crowdsourcing, crowdfunding, co-creation, lean startup, digital transformation, strategic business innovation, corporate culture in entrepreneurship, business model and innovation design thinking, open innovation, wealth management, change management, and transformational leadership, and solar, renewable energy, and clean technology. As you see, this is the reason we have been inviting him over and over to kindly share with us his, very deep, vast experience. Over the past 25 years, Professor Nada has been consulted, trained, and coached to several corporates and startup companies, including NASA, German Aerospace Center, DHL, Kuwait Oil Company, Inovia, and Nokia. We are so pleased to have Dr. Nader Nada with us. And let me just clarify I'm sorry I did not mention my name in the start. My name is Muhammad Mustafa Mahmoud. For short, they call me Dr. 3M. And this webinar is scheduled to last for 1 hour. Dr. Nader Nada will be speaking for 50 minutes. The recording of the presentation is available now on YouTube, live on YouTube, and it will be available for anybody who would like to watch it later. And the copy of the PowerPoint presentation will be sent to everyone who have signed up for this webinar. We will have 10 minutes for question and answers. So please put your questions in the chat. At the last 10 minutes, Dr. Nada himself will check the chat and maybe assisted by our sister Yumna back in Saudi Arabia. Dr. Nader Nada now is speaking from New Jersey. I'm speaking now from New York. And this webinar is organized by a team in Cairo, in Riyadh, and in Canada. So this is a true global webinar. Please, Mr. Ahmed, please, يا أستاذ عماد, ضع اليوتيوب channel link على الشات, لأن بعض الناس سألوا عليها. The whole thing will be conducted in English. I will not take so much time from Dr. Nader Nada. And please, the floor is yours, Dr. Nader. You can now open your camera and share your presentation from your side.
And I appreciate all the effort to prepare and to host me on this opportunity. And also, I would say that there are some questions at the end of my presentation, and hopefully we can answer all of it. If not, then please send your questions to the host, and I will do my best to answer it all, Sean. Thank you. Do you hear me well, everyone? Uh,
Yeah, we can hear you.
actually,
We see the
yes.
presentation and we see the
Actually, my
video. Go ahead.
introduction is considered as introduction and awareness for two topics. Last presentation, I was talking about innovation framework, and I'm going to review it today for whoever uh, wasn't aware or not attending the last week or the last presentation. Then I'm going to talk about the way to develop your effective and authenticated transformational leadership style. In a nutshell, I was talking last presentation about the relationship between creativity, innovation, and entrepreneurship, and they are very related. Creativity is really the process of generating the maximum number of ideas, and it is not sure that these ideas is successful or not, but the first part is really to generate the maximum number of ideas, and there are many tools and techniques. And I'm going to talk later about the innovation process. However, there are a lot of platforms that generate these ideas from all over the world, and also large corporates spending and investing in generating the ideas from inside and outside the organization. Then the innovation will take these ideas and start evaluating it and make sure it is successful and economic, and make it available to the industry or to the public. Entrepreneurship is the people or organization who is really interested in this idea and commercialize it and make it available to the market. And now we are really looking at the knowledge economy all over the world. The competition now with new ideas, innovation, either any type of innovation. And as I mentioned, there are many kinds of innovation. We need to be aware of it. It's not only product or services. So there are economy built on knowledge and innovation, and the leading companies or countries all over the world is competing with each other to collect ideas and attract people and adapt to their ideas and hire them. So very high competition all over the world, and sometimes also they spy on each other to know what's going on, and maybe they can catch one or two before somebody else. And there are actually global organization called the Global Innovation Index who really evaluate and assess the innovation in all the world. And they really collected the data of the whole year, and at the end they will rank the countries all over the world accordingly. And you will be surprised in the next slide to know that the innovation is not in the hand of the big guys like America and Japan and China, etc. It is in the hand right now. The leading countries are small countries. And this is really, it is about evaluating the ecosystem, including institutions, human capital, and research, infrastructure, market sophistication, business sophistication, and the output like scientific outputs and products and any creative ideas or product or service, etc. And patent and measuring how much new product or services coming to the market. There is another organization also ranking the corporates all over the world. And usually there is high competition between the big guys all over the world. This is the last top most innovative countries all over the world right now. And as you can see, small countries like South Korea, Singapore, Switzerland, Sweden, Denmark, Finland, Astoria. This is small countries, small population, but amazingly, they really produce new ideas, products, and services, and they're competing with each other. They have excellent ecosystem, and they are carefully investing their resources and money and humans to build these systems and create opportunities for knowledge economy. Last week, I talked about that there are many types of innovation. It is not only products and services. It's including how we do the business. It's called business model innovation. Of course, product and services, this is common to all of us. Process, how really we produce or make certain product or services, and steps to take decision. This is called process innovation or manufacturing even. And finally, organizational innovation. And this is really to talk about the topic of today. We are going to focus today on the organizational innovation, and we will learn more in a minute. If you are interested in innovation in general, there are really tons of resources in this portal. It's called innovation-portal.info. You will be surprised about the quantities, case studies, business models, many books, unlimited resources actually. So I highly recommend you to visit this portal, and you will find something amazing. The next question last week was about how to manage innovation. And we did a lot of research, a lot of master's degrees, PhDs to answer these questions. And several hundreds of companies to come up with the what should we do to have a successful innovation management system. And we come up with 4 pillars. The first pillar is about developing a strategic plan that will define the goals and the resources and key indicators. And of course, Dr. Muhammad is really expert in that. And that's why in the near future, we will offer a certificate in this area to help all participants and be certified strategic planner, either in digital transformation, innovation management, or any corporate or any small business, startup business can really join us when we offer this certification. The second pillar is about organization. And today we are going to talk about transformational leadership, culture and structure of the companies, and how really you build the talent and leadership in your own organization or in your team or in yourself itself. I'm going to talk about that later. And also we will offer a certification in this transformation leadership in China. For The next pillar is really to have a well-solid process to understand the challenge or the problem and make some observation and interviews and collect data, understand the challenge that we have, and then make ideation for solutions, maximum number of ideation, then evaluating these ideas and picking the most prominent and successful ideas and test it in reality and make sure it is economic and successful, and then give it to the organization or the startup company to commercialize and make it public. And this process also including testing and prototyping and evaluating and business models. So this is going to be the next talk. I selected what we call design thinking process. It is very, very successful process, help you to understand and come up with a solution. And it is teamwork. And I'm going to talk a little bit about it in my next few slides, but the details of design thinking will be next week, next presentation. I don't know when it's going to be, but additionally, we will make a certification in design thinking. Then the next pillar is knowledge management, learning, and how really to maximize the benefit of your experience, your company experience, and other organization or competitive experience. And this is learning process. A lot of organization around the world investing in this direction to make sure that they maximize know-how and also enhance it and learn, make it short and beneficiary out of this learning process. Then the linkage or crowdsourcing and open innovation. In strategic planning as a process, as you know, we have different type of strategic planning, like corporate strategic planning, like digital transformation or innovation management strategic plan. I'm going to talk with Professor, my brother, Dr. Muhammad, about how really we develop the certification in this area, because it's, as you can see, there are many dimensions, and we wanted to benefit the maximum number of people. As you know, to start with organization assessment, developing the vision and mission, and then assess the external and internal environment, then agree on priorities, writing the document itself, and then the implementation plan, and then monitoring and evaluating and enhancing the whole plan, and learn from mistakes and not repeating them. After reducing the equals, as I mentioned, you need the action plan and monitor and share the progress, and be careful from what we call it execution gap, because there are many organizations around, they have the best strategic plan, and they are unable to really to execute it as it should be, or they have shortcoming in the execution, or they don't have enough resources to really take care of the execution. So this is what we call it execution gap. So if we are talking about digital transformation, strategic plan or project, we need the right team, the right strategy, the right technology, and the right KPIs. Also, last week I talked about the business model. When you have a great idea, you need really to develop the business model to make sure that this is really reliable and economic and it is successful. So you need to understand the business model in details and This is part of the innovation process, which we will talk about it next week. The innovation process, in short, is including multidisciplinary team. You have people from different backgrounds. Diversity is very important in innovation. And you can get people from all over the organization, even in business, in marketing, in sales, even finance. You need really people from different technology, etc. And you need the design thinking process, which is 5 steps, and then space. You need to have available space that will help you to prototype and test these ideas. Starting from this discovery itself and understanding the challenge, 80% of the success in getting the right solution is under discovery and understanding the challenge itself. And there are many techniques and processes that will help you to do that. And when we develop the certification, we will really let you try all this and help you to come up with deep understanding the root cause of the problem, the stakeholders, and the root cause of this problem. And then you are not going to start generating ideas. You are going to collect, analyze, and understand all what you collected, interview people, etc. And then we will start to generate ideas from inside the organization, outside the organization, and maximize the number of them. And then you are going to test the ideas, make prototype, make a business model, etc. And get feedback, go back to the stakeholders and everybody who is involved in this process to make sure that you get the maximum number of brains and feedback about it. And then take this and implement and add values to your customer, to your company, to your market, etc. This is called evolution. I told you that knowledge management is really considered important pillar in this process or this framework. Not many organizations are really investing in this. It is not easy, but in the same time, you yourself have kind of knowledge management skills, and you apply it in your life. For example, if you wanted to buy a new car, you will ask your friends or somebody you know that you wanted to decide to buy this kind of car. What do you think about it? You got the experience, real experience, before you take actions and decide what you wanted to do. And this is kind of experience valuable. You don't want it to repeat other people's mistakes. You want it to learn from your own experience and maximize the area of focus that you are in. And you need to have a kind of trivial, at least trivial system that will help you to collect and compare and learn from. This is called learning organization, learning techniques that will help you to learn as much as you could before you take any decision. So knowledge is power, definitely, and in the same time, we are not having all the smart people in the world in our. You have limited resources, and you have limited human resources and capital resources, and you don't want it to waste them. So based on collecting this kind of your experience and other people's experience is very important. And learning know-how also. You build on certain product or processes, techniques, and methods, and you need to build your decision based on this past experience or other competitors maybe experience. And that will help you to reduce time to market, new products designed and quickly and successfully in the market. And then that will help you to increase revenues, retain market share, and expanding your profit margins. In general, there are two types: explicit knowledge and tacit knowledge. The explicit knowledge is really formal and codified, and it's easy for you to find it and learn out of it, like ERP, for example. But tacit knowledge is what is in the head of the people. And this is one of the most difficult tasks for any organization, is really to collect this knowledge and make it codified, available to whoever needs it. Finally, is talking about the open innovation and open collaboration, and shifting from the way that we do things and the way we develop things from me as a company or individual to we, to group. The power of group or team is really unbelievable. And that's why they call it radical collaboration. And also they call it crowdsourcing innovation. As you know, we are not hiring, or we don't have in our team all the smart people in the world. But there is a way to really attract these people and let them help you, either for free or for funds or money, whatever. There is a way for doing that, and this is the trend for the whole for the next few decades, is about open innovation and outsourcing. No doubt that when two brains thinking together better than one brain, five is better than two, etc. So this is the power of group or crowd. We need really to maximize the benefit of this crowd. And I'm going to show you in a minute how really we come up with that. So it is talking about benefiting and producing a system that will help us from inside and from outside the organization. And the crowd sourcing is really the abbreviation of crowd plus sourcing, and they said now crowdsourcing. And who are the members of this crowdsourcing? It could be your employees, it could be your customer, it could be partners, suppliers, market trends and experts, marketplaces, and media and analytics. There are unlimited resources here that will help you to help you in achieving your goals and collecting feedback and ideas from all of this. Imagine that your organization is having a system to collect ideas from all these stakeholders. This is unbelievable. And I know some organization collecting more than a million ideas per year. Imagine that you have million ideas that will help you to make for the products and services for the next 100 years. Imagine that. And this is the power of really crowdsourcing and open innovation. And this could be applicable to product, services, operations, and even management and decision taking. And this is including all the phases in your organization, from generating ideas, evaluating, selecting the ideas, developing and implementation. You can have partners and stakeholders that can help you to really evaluate and come up with the best ideas in the world. And as you can see, customers now are the first, number one, the source of ideas and innovation. Then the business unit heads, and after that, employees, the team, there is R&D team, and the CEO or top management, etc., including also supplier partners and also employees from other organizations and sales. Imagine all these resources is helping you to achieve your goals. Unbelievable, could be unbelievable results. And as I mentioned, engaging the customers is the biggest sources. And there are many websites who are really getting feedback and connected to the customers and also testing the new product before it is published or it is in the market. Also, there are some lead customers who help you. They are really dedicated and they are loyal to you and they will help you to take some ideas and the evaluation of your new product before you put it in the market. Now we are going to go to the next part, which is the talk of our business today or webinar. We are talking now about the transformational leadership, and I just put some bullets here. What is transformational leadership? There are some traits and some features like self-awareness, like positive and self-motivated, ability to create vision and people skills, and then the eagerness to excellence and performance. So we'll talk a little bit about each of these in a minute. To define the meaning of leadership is really the ability to influence people or group or team to achieve certain common goals. And also there are wrong questions. Is a leader born or made? Leadership is not it's not a position that you take. It is kind of decision you take it yourself to be a leader. So the right question to ask: can leadership be learned? And the answer is yes. And that's why we will make certification in this area to help you to modify and discover your hidden talents in leadership, especially the transformation leadership itself. So to define, to be becoming an effective leadership, you need really to not to master and be successful in every field and all the attributes. You don't have to do that. You have to focus on your strengths and eliminate or avoid your weakness. And that's why in a minute you will see that discovering these capabilities will help you really to be a successful leader in your organization. And finding the way to nurture and to build on your strength area and overcome your weakness and limitations. So leadership here is really will be successful in focusing and affecting the change in your organization and bringing the stability for whatever you manage. At the same time, it is really not focused on system like the management or like directors or managers. It is not manager. Usually managers are focusing on system. They are system focused, but leadership is really people focused. And this is a big difference because you are going to succeed with the people, not by yourself itself. You are going to succeed with the motivation and the help that you are going to get from your team and their loyalty and their effort with you. If they are believing in what you're really imagining or your future plan, they really will help you, and sometimes they will sacrifice also and help you to succeed in achieving this kind of vision for the future. So internship leadership is really about a combination of personality traits and some thinking processes, skills, attitudes, and behaviors. And that's what we just mentioned. A manager do things right, while leaders do the right things. Big difference. So let us look closely to each of these traits and skills and behaviors. The transformational leader should have the ability of creating vision. They have vision to achieve in the next 5, 10, 20 years. And they have effort to on dedication to really achieve that goal. Not alone, but they should really attract the people and the right people. And that's why they have to have people skills. They have to have good communication skills. They need to inspire people, motivate them, and choose them to help him or the organization to achieve that kind. That's why we call it the people skills. And there are really a lot of skills here. I'm going to mention it later, how really to be successful leaders, including these people skills. And you need also to be a kind of challenger and have this distinguished approach to achieve, to make the difference and taking risk, for example. If you scare to make a risk, there is no success without taking risk. You need to, but calculated risk, that's what we call it. Calculated risk is good way of success. And without it, like trading, for example, the more you take risk in trading, the more you make profits and gains. And this is really human rules. Everybody knows about it. So without taking risk and take care of make the change and making sometimes difficult decision. If you are afraid to take a difficult decision, then you are not successful transformational leader. And handling hostility or unexpected situation, and also working across the boundaries, not just the limitation inside your organization. You have to go out and seek help and make some risks. And try and error, give opportunity for try and error. And this is related to the culture, which I'm going to talk about it later. This transformational leadership is really a theory by Burns in 1978, just for your information. And after the seminar, I'm going to send you a kind of survey to collect information about yourself, how far you are successful as a leader or as transformational leaders and know your strengths and weakness. And yeah, I'm going to ask the Academy to email it to you so you can have self-assessment. One important personal characteristic is self-confidence. You cannot have a weak confidence person to succeed as a leader. He should really be self-confidence and also positive, always outlooking and never give up and also optimistics. And one important aspect, what we call it, emotional intelligence. You should have high emotional intelligence. And I'm going to explain to you what are the components of emotional intelligence in a minute. So, transformation leadership have a vision for the future, and they have a way and selecting team and motivating them. And also, they should be a good role models themselves. They should really be a good model for everyone around them, because you cannot ask somebody to be good and you are yourself has some drawbacks and you are not doing the same thing that you're asking them to do. So you should have very good model for them. If they want, if you want them to, for example, work extra hours, you should do that. If you want them to sacrifice weekends, you should do that, etc. If you want them to come early, you should do that, etc. So you have to be a role model for them, and managing the performance yourself and the organization and your team effectively, and also giving the your team the support, enough support, and this is could be moral support, financial support, training support, system support, all kind of supports. Give them the opportunity, give them all what they need to succeed without limitation, and that will help them really to help you yourself succeed. So now the question is, what is emotional intelligence? In short, uh, emotional intelligence is the ability to understand and manage both your own emotions and those of the people around you. So it is self-understanding and other people understanding. And based on this two understanding, you will really be able to lead and attract and motivate yourself and motivate other people or your team. So usually people with high degree of emotional intelligence, they know what is their feeling and how they can control it and how really they can overcome their weakness and very optimistic, etc. And also how to manage their emotions and how to affect other people and motivate them. So this is what we call it emotional intelligence. And there are 5 dimensions of this: self-awareness and self-regulation and motivation and empathy and social skills. These are the 5 dimensions of the emotional intelligence. It's a big part of transformation leadership. You cannot really succeed as a transformational leader unless you have these features and characteristics. And there is a way to measure all this. When we do certification in transformational leadership, we will really go with you step by step and help you to build and measure your emotional intelligence and discover your strengths and weakness, etc. So having a clear picture of your strengths, weakness, and also having a humanitarian side that you care about others before you care about yourself. And that's why you need to keep a journal and observe yourself whenever you have time to do that. And also be careful about your experience and certain decision. Don't rush. Sometimes you have to take your time to think about what to do next. So these are some of the questions that we need to consider when we make the self-awareness or what we call self-SWOT analysis. It's very similar to SWOT analysis in strategic planning. Asking question about strengths, what do I do well? What internal resources do I have, like knowledge, reputation, skills, also weakness. So what could I do better? What's my really limitation? What kind of limited resources I have? What do I lack? In the same time, thinking about future or current opportunities, what can I take advantage of? Is there is a great need for certain service and products that will help me to provide it to others, etc. Then considering the threats inside and outside the organization, like looking at competitors and what kind of challenge, either economic challenge or political challenge or laws challenge, etc. All these are a way of assessing yourself as a leader. The second feature is self-regulation. You cannot really, if you cannot control yourself and your tempers and you get excited and shouting, etc., and taking very rush decision, etc. So this is going to cause some challenges and some problems without any organization to control yourself. Then self-regulation is very important. Self-regulation about also staying in control. Self-regulation about knowing your values, holding yourself, accounting. If you made a mistake, you have really to admit, and don't put your mistakes on others, etc. Practice also being calm and quiet all the time, and helping yourself to manage your emotional inside, not outside. Also motivating yourself and motivating the others, examining what are you doing and knowing where you stand in self-esteem, being optimistic, positive, etc. Also, feeling about others and putting yourself in their position and trying to understand their emotions and their feelings and respect this and try to help them, like helping developing people in your team, and also giving constructive feedback and not blaming them, giving them opportunity to fix and motivate them and listen also to them. All this really part of and also observe the body language and responding to your feeling and their feelings. As I mentioned, part of this successful leadership is really to learn conflict resolution and improve the communication skills and how to praise yourself and praise others. So the mission of any transformational leadership is really to create inspiring vision, motivate and inspire people to engage with the vision itself, and manage delivery of this vision, and coach, build a team, and be more effective and to achieve this kind of visions. As I just mentioned that you need to make this SWOT analysis by yourself. You need to learn the art of motivating yourself and others. You need to manage delivery of vision, share it with everybody, and emphasize on these KPIs, how really you measure your progress and achievement, and also make yourself managing the change inside and outside effectively. Also give opportunity to people to grow with you, coach them, help them to succeed with all the means inside and outside the organizations. Finally, because we are, I think, out of time, honesty and integrity is very important part, and trust between you and your team is very important, and listening to criticism and learning from the feedbacks. Don't get mad because some people or some of your team or some of your colleagues are criticizing you. We are human. We could make mistakes, and you have to be accepting this kind of criticism and try to work on it. Maybe they are right, maybe you are, but you have to be flexible in the directions. So we need to open to their suggestions and believe they have been working hard. They will work harder even if they disagree with you, if they believe in you. We have to remember that communicating your vision is very important, and let them believe on it and help them to grow with you. It's not just something about your focusing on the message, or you need really to lead by example, as I mentioned before. So people around you or your team, they will ask you, what is in it for me? They wanted to feel that you are not just selfish. You wanted to get whatever you want from them and not considering what they want. You have to be very, what we call it, empathy. You have really to share and understand their need also, and do your best to fulfill this kind of need, and understand their difficult times and their families, their human needs. Also encourage and give them bonus, give them opportunity to take some courses, etc. They grow with you. You need to be very innovative also, not to take everything as it is because it is working. You need to look for improvement. You need to think outside the box. You need to discover the inner innovators inside you and others around you. You need to take and drive excellence and seek for improvement, like Japanese principles. There is always a space for improvement. Don't say we are okay. And sliding a little bit from your objective from, for example, 95 to 90 or 85, sometimes it is acceptable. And also lobby for change. Don't just say everything, as I mentioned, is okay. We don't have a room for taking new ideas or changing what we are doing. Accept this kind of suggestions, and maybe it is improving everything surrounding you. And you have to empower, as I mentioned, your teamwork and help them and listen to their needs and their criticism.
Salam alaikum, Doctor. It is now 1
So-
hour, and if we can conclude within 4 to 5 minutes, we really appreciate it.
Okay, I will shortly conclude, inshallah. It looks like that I prepared a lot of material today. Anyway, so let us emphasize on importance of trust between the whole team and between you and the team you lead, and don't give them promise and you don't fulfill it. At the same time, you are going to create emotional feeling between you and them. I know some leaders, they know everyone, they know their families, they know their kids, and they visit them from time to time. And this is creating very warm emotional relationship between you and your team. Don't forget that the human side is very important. Now we are going to talk just very quickly about the culture. Sharing rewards, encourage people, and when they do something right, reward them with many ways. There are many ways of rewarding, and invest on that reward and make it also public, not just between you and the person. No, make it public. This have done so, and for that we are really giving the promotion or financial rewards, etc. So part of the culture is really to motivate people and make public recognition, and also display this in very well-known place. Make it also very well-known. Maybe put it in the newspaper or broadcasting or social media, etc. Make it public. Finally, we need really to have confidence and kind manner of dealing with people. We need to have sense of justice and tempered by mercy. We need to have a strong intellect by willingness to learn. We need to have strong sense of emotion and self-control. We need to have ability to communicate and ability to listen. We need to have some kind of what we call it strong insistence for the rules, and tempered by flexibility. Flexibility is very important. Don't be rigid. Like for example, Google, they give the people 25% of their time to do something different from their task. Try something else. And this is also, they don't care about coming 9 to 5. They can start late and go home late, etc. So this is called flexibility. Also, you need to communicate your vision and make sure that everyone understands first, and also understand what is their task to help you, and not just sharing the vision. Everyone should have a share, responsible about it, and make sure that he will do it. And of course, the SMART goals, I'm not going to go through that. You have to be in this goal specific, measurable, attainable, and realistic. Finally, I'm going to talk about the culture. First, the trust and leadership, including mission and purpose, continuous investment in people, transparency and honesty and inspiration. Also giving the team growth opportunity, including high impact learning culture, self-directed dynamic learning, training and support, and facilitated talent mobility, positive work environment, including fair, including diverse work environment, flexible work environment, humanistic workplace and culture of recognition, supportive management like agile performance management, coaching, clear and transparent goals, training and of managers. Then finally, the meaningful work, select to fit, putting the right person in the right spot, empowering the teams themselves, giving them self-autonomy. Don't just be a manager like do 1, 2, 3, 4, giving them flexibility in doing to achieve the goal the way they think is better, and be transparent and open. This is the end of my presentation, and as I mentioned to you, we will have a special session on this kind of leadership. We have a certification for that. So if you are interested in that, please let us know. We will planning to have certification in strategic planning, transformational leadership, design thinking or innovation process, then open innovation and outsourcing and knowledge management. If you are interested in any of these certification, we will be happy to hear from you so we can really put priorities, which one is first. At the same time, we are going to continue our webinar series. Next will be on design thinking, innovation process, and the next will be on open innovation and knowledge management. Thank you very much. And if you have any questions, please feel free to ask. If we don't have time, as I can see, then please send it to the Academy, and I will do my best to send you the answers. Dr. Muhammad, it's your...
Yes, thank you so much.
Now.
Yes, Assalamu alaikum. Thank you so much, Dr. Nader. As you, we are used to, you always overwhelm us with your deep and rich knowledge. And by the end of your presentation, we get more thirsty and more, excited to learn more and more. I'm very glad
Inshallah,
that you
inshallah,
kindly...
next webinars, you will learn more and more, and all the participants. And I hope to see all of you again.
Yeah. Thank you. And the recording of this seminar is available in our YouTube channel, and we have posted this link. You can watch it, and we will send the PowerPoint presentation of Dr. Nader Nada, does not mind, in a PDF format to 1,000 plus. Almost 200 people have signed up for this webinar.
Wow,
So we will do this, inshallah. Also, I have noticed that many people have posted their registration number for to get the certificates. Usually we don't do this, but we will be happy to, if you write to us direct with your details. There is a policy in the Academy to issue attendance certificates, and usually they charge, I think, $35 for preparation of the certificates, having it certified and sending to you to your email. And thank you so much for everybody for attending. And Dr. Nader promised that anybody who send us questions with his contact details, he will be very happy to answer them directly in person. Also, we are scheduling future webinars with him and different topics in innovation and design thinking. Also, we are arranging training programs, full-fledged, complete training programs with Dr. Nader Nada. If you are interested, also let us know. Thank you very much again, Dr. Nader, and I wish you all the best. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
Thank you, Dr. Muhammad.